Here they go into the back. The blue line on. We have a race, and Satnova's beaten Pure Steel out by a length and a half.
Welcome to Talking Trots, hosted by Morts and Michael Radley on Tab Radio, Racing and Sport.
The sensational Sydney sider, Seals to Sam, comes off the back straight. He's a bucket load of alliteration, this fellow.
Scott Bomber Hill will join the boys to look at the Friday night meeting at Gloucester Park. Scott will find the winners for the weekend's racing.
Here comes Quinny. I'm the mighty Queen is 4 deep and letting go.
Sit back and enjoy Talking Trots with Morts and Michael Radley.
I'm the mighty Queen is just in front. Dasher VC can do no more. And the West Australian champion has done it again.
Yes, hello and welcome to another really big edition of Talking Trots. We say it every week, it's a big edition, but this one is an absolute cracker. As we head into the Tab Touch Nullarbor, what a big build-up it's been. We had the barrier draw on Tuesday, then the Rawa launch of the Western Trilogy on Wednesday, and now all eyes are focused. We're at the Sandgroper tonight at the Dogs, but all eyes are focused in harness racing on Gloucester Park on Friday night for the $1.25 million Nullarbor. And tonight we're going to chat with a man who's going to play a very big part in the race. Jack Callaghan got the drive on Spirit of St. Louis, drawn the ace and holds the aces as to what he wants to do. Bit of talk as well between connections of himself and also Hot and Treacherous about leading, who's going to lead, if they'll yield or not. And it's going to be an exciting race, and we'll talk to Jack about that. Bomber Hill will be along to preview the Nullarbor, as well as 4 or 5 other races we had a deep dive into, and Ollie at the end to have a look at the country meeting, and also we'll get his tip from the Nullarbor. But a big hello to a man who's excited about the Nullarbor. He's got 2 runners. But first of all, Morts, before I welcome you, first of all, congratulations. At the barrier draw, you were awarded the Alan Parker Medal for promotion of harness racing, and we rattled off a few of the things that you do, including sponsor, not just Gloucester Park, but Pinjarra, Bunbury, Busselton, plenty of clubs throughout WA, manage many syndicates and introduce many people into the sport. You're part of the Harness Racing Owners Association executive team that go to meetings and help decide. You are a big leader on the split payments for owners, and of course, every Thursday, or most Thursdays, you come in here free of charge and do this podcast promoting the industry and particularly wagering, which is all important. So I don't think there was a more worthy winner it could have been than yourself. And congratulations, mate, on the Alan Parker Award.
Thank you, Michael. It was a big thrill and a total surprise, as you would have judged on the day.
I kept it from you. Only about 4 or 5 people knew, the judges, and that's about it.
You know, you did exceptionally well. It was very humbling. Very happy to win an award that is associated in name by Alan Parker. I mean, just one of the true greats of harness racing in WA. Just the historian that just knows everything, and just to win an award that's got his name on it was an honour. No, look, it was a great day, and I never really got a chance to thank the people in the industry that have very supportive of our brand Retrovision, which is why we continue to invest more and in more clubs as well. To all of the owners that we've been lucky enough to get on board at JP Pacing, I thank them for their support. Met so many people. Lucky enough to get to the HRCG, and of course you find yourself, Michael, you've been extremely helpful and supportive of myself along the way, and I do appreciate it. And I sit here with you most Thursday nights, and we do it because we love it, and that's the most important thing. And it was great, but we just do it because we love it, and we're back here again for another very big edition, and certainly I think one of the biggest when we look at the lead into the Nullarbor tomorrow night at Gloucester Park. It's here. We've been waiting a long time, and I guess that's the good part about the slot racing, is the fact that it is a build-up over a long time. It's not just the week before or 2 weeks out. We've been talking about this all year, and now it's finally here, and there's been a lot of guessing and second guessing along the way as to who'll be there, but the field's finally set. It's a great field. I think it's brilliant we've got the Eastern Staters, and you look at Twitter, lighting up today with some of the comments. That's what it's all about. We need people talking about our sport, and certainly the spotlight is going to be on the greyhounds, on harness, and on the thoroughbreds this weekend. So a great job that Tab Touch have done to promote that, and I can't wait.
No, it's been a big build up, and as we got closer, and as you said, there's been plenty of social media. There's been great interaction. Regency and the Gaths have done a great job, but even this week we've seen like through Gloucester Park and the Trots WA have rolled out those Tim Walker interviews with Kate, Denny and Kyle, which were fantastic. Scotty Hamilton's Nullarbor opener for the barrier drill, which we got to play on the night, so I'm tipping that before the race we're going to play that and get them all excited about the horses that are competing into the race and what we're there for. But it's been a big build up, and really looking forward to it.
I do congratulate Regency Foods on the promotion they've done. It's been brilliant. But like you say, Gloucester Park, Trots WA, and
well,
a lot of work.
Bells have been giving us a daily countdown with Swing Band and what he's been doing, working at Gloucester Park and the like. So
it's been great. Yeah, really, really good, and it'll only get better.
Yeah,
because we need to get better at showcasing, because we can't just talk to the converted.
Yep.
We need to expose it to people that aren't necessarily in the harness racing industry, but just like entertainment. And this is what it's all about.
The other thing is everyone's been so generous with their time. Like, Andy last week, but any time we've wanted to do anything or anyone's asked for an interview, there's been straight away they've been on the front foot and doing their own stuff as well, which is really, really good. So
now, Michael, last week our man Scott Bomberhill was down 1 unit at Gloucester Park on Friday night. Ollie had a bit of a tough weekend, landing just the one winner from 4 bets. There was some great racing at Gloucester Park last Friday night. Ira Poole fought out a really solid win in the opener for Stuart McDonald, who's driving well.
Yes,
he's in great form. Navy Street landed the cash for Kate Gath first up, $91. How good was that? Great drive
for Karen and Dave Thompson. Really, auntie and uncle. Yeah,
fantastic. Really good win by Regal Chevalier. Copped a fair bit of pressure, and just Junior got him out of the gates really well. A lot of pressure from Luca, and managed to win. Diego was back to his best from gate 1, as we'd expect. Zafira got away with a fair bit in the Mares 4-year-old Westbred Classic, but still was an easy winner. And the same in the Entires and Geldings. Never Ending got away with a fair bit in that and got the cash. All as well, did finish off strong. Blistering lead time by Steno, and a patient drive by Aidan de Campo. Absolute perler. Just too good on Cyclone Charlotte. Celesio Matuka, very strong win from the Breeze. Artful Major got all the favours in front for Prentice and Hall. And BJ's Boy, despite galloping out of the mobile,
gave the punters a few.
Certainly did.
Bit of cause for concern.
But flashed late to win. So it was a treble to Gary Hall Senior on Friday night and a double to Justin Prentice. Gary Hall Jr. drove 4. Aidan de Campo drove 2. On Saturday at Northern, very good card. The very powerful Michael Young stable got a double. Corey Peterson got a double, and so did Stewie. Like I said, he's in such good form. Monday at Pinjarra, driving double to Denny Roberts, and Tuesday at GP, a treble to Shannon. I knew I wouldn't go through the whole show without Shannon. And a double to Kyle Symington, another young man who's driving very well, and it's great to see him in a field like that, in a race like that on Friday night in the Nullarbor. That's really good confidence in Kyle, and he deserves it. He's done really, really well. So was a big week in harness racing, Michael, including the barrier draw. Did a great job there on Tuesday, hosting it yourself. Excellent.
Thank you.
It was a great day. It was really, really good. And then, of course, yesterday, the official launch of the Western Trilogy. I think I'm almost waterlogged.
Not as much as Bjorn Baker.
Oh, wow.
Bjorn was best on ground yet again.
He was. And I've got to tell you, our very own Marty Young wasn't too far behind either. So it was...
he enjoyed himself, Marty.
It was a good... it was a great...
Bjorn grabbed me and
launch.
Then all you want to just talk to me about Greg.
Right. Right. Didn't you tell him that...
I said, he's not even the good Radley.
No.
And he sort of looked at me strange.
Need to speak to the good one. But no, it was a big week, and great job Tuesday, and Rawa did a great job on the Wednesday with the with the launch.
Well, all eyes turn to Gloucester Park on Friday night, but let's go back 12 months and the inaugural running of the Nullarbor, and we had a couple of Eastern State raiders, and including that was Spirit of St. Louis. He ends up running second, but he's back here to see if he goes one better. Before we speak to Jack Callaghan, let's listen to last year's Nullarbor.
Pull out 4 wide, third quarter in 27.9. He goes for home on Better Zip It. Lean of the clear now. Spirit of St. Louis is giving chase. Typhoon down to the inside, then jumping Jack Mac. Forget Magnificent Storm. Better Zip It in front. Here's Spirit of St. Louis. Better Zip It's in front. Spirit of St. Louis, then jumping Jack Mac. Better Zip It. Spirit of St. Louis. Better Zip It just in front. He's fighting plenty. Better Zip It in front, and Better Zip It has won the Nullarbor. Spirit of St. Louis second. Jumping Jack Mac has run third.
Yeah, he got very close last year in the inaugural running. Spirit of St. Louis and Jack Callaghan. Let's see if they can go one better this year, and I'm pleased to say Jack Callaghan joins us on the line. Jack, welcome back to Perth.
Yeah, g'day guys. Thanks for having me back. It's good.
Mate, you went very close last year, and I think everyone was just expecting the race to be a run with Magnificent Storm rolling to the front, but you've made them change their all plans when you crossed, and it certainly was an exciting race last year, and probably made by you.
Yeah, it was certainly an exciting race. Obviously, Magnificent Storm was short price favourite with the really good draw, but I just thought it was probably the draw for my fella. I had to try and chance my arm a bit, and we're able to get a real nice slingshot from out wide. And he's always shown he's had exceptional gate speed, so he was able to use that to his advantage last year.
Tomorrow night's a little bit different. Like you said, you had a good slingshot at the start, and you came across in the angle. Tomorrow night, of course, you've drawn the one, so you're on the fence. You're still very confident that we can just get him away beautifully and get the same sort of impetus as you did last year?
Yeah, I think so. I think, obviously he's got exceptional gate speed, and drawing out wide probably, as I said before, could get a little bit of slingshot, but I think, the horse with his speed, he should have more than enough to be able to hold his position.
Now, very importantly, I've got a very extremely important question to ask you, because Michael and I don't know, but I see there's a late gear change at Gloucester Park. Race 7 tomorrow night, Spirit of St. Louis. Add sliding Dolly Varden blinkers and remove hood blinkers. We would like to know what difference could that possibly make to the horse.
Yeah, the hood was only added to him first time in the Miracle Mile qualifier, just to try and sharpen him up for the mile, which I think it worked quite well. He obviously ran a great second on that night in the qualifier, and then was a bit unlucky in the mile. I think with a bit more luck, he would have finished a bit closer. So we just thought going back, to the 2500, he could get a bit fired up with the hood still on. So we've just preferred to change him to the pull-down dollies, and hopefully it can work for him on Friday.
There we go, Michael. We've just learnt something.
Well, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Well, we've heard it from one of the best, young Jack. So
it does a great job. Now, Jack, there's been a bit of a war. Well, I wouldn't say war of words, but there's been a bit of banter, starting with Aaron Bain, one of the part owners, about declaring he's going to hold up, or you're going to hold up, and there's been on Twitter today reports that you want to hold up, and obviously Jason Grimson has said, well, we're just coming attacking. It's good to see a bit of banter going between the two.
Yeah, that's right. Obviously, with most big races, there's plenty of talk before them, especially in harness racing, where positioning and tactics is so important. Probably more so than thoroughbred racing. So, Jason's always been one to be very confident with his horses and wants them driven accordingly. And, it was no surprise to see his comments like that. But at the end of the day, once we get out on the track, the mobile folds back. It's pretty well just a clean slate, and, you got to do your best at the time.
And the other thing is we can all come up with these plans that, yep, you're going to lead and Hot and Treacherous is going to be the first there. But as we saw last year, where no one had Spirit of St. Louis crossing to the pegs, I think this year there is a couple out wide that do possess a tremendous amount of gate speed in Blitz and Buy and Lavery Joe, and it wouldn't be surprise me if they have a throw at the stumps, and it's all that it's possible for Hot and Treacherous to even be three back the outside in the plans, because plans don't always work out as what people just think they're going to do.
No, that's right. You know, obviously I prefer to go out there with somewhat of a plan, but I think if, you know, you've done your homework and your form and you know all the horses well enough, you just got to be able to adapt to any scenario that comes out there, because, you know, even something like the Miracle Mile, for example, when my name Jeff galloped shortly after the start, you know, all the plans just completely changed. So you got to be able to think quick on your feet and, you know, expect the unexpected.
Yeah, it is that very important part to be able to, you know, think very quick on your feet. Last year, you burnt him across, you came straight across and he performed really well and run second. How do you compare how he's going this time in compared to this time last year, Jack?
I think he's had a lot better preparation leading into this year. He obviously last year came across on a Tuesday flight and raced straight away on the Friday the week before, and we were quite disappointed with his performance that night, and he didn't pull up great. So from, you know, the week leading into the Nullarbor last year, I was a bit concerned on how he was going to go, to be honest. It was more try and recover him and pick him up type week, whereas this week I think he's really built into his race well. He's, you know, had a few weeks in between runs, but he's had plenty of work, and we've seen him race extremely good fresh in the past too, so I'd expect him to, you know, perform right up to his best on Friday. And
having a couple of drives in the night before the big race.
Just before I ask you about the other drives, who do you think?
I was going to ask about having those couple of drives. Yep. You know, does that just make you feel a little bit more confident that you're being back on the track, because you obviously haven't been back on Gloucester Park since this time last year? So just getting a couple of drives and maybe settling the nerves and getting used to the track, is that helpful?
Yeah, I obviously don't mind it. I think, you know, once I've driven on the track last year, I'd still be confident that, you know, I'd have no dramas driving on it, but it's, you know, definitely good to pick a few drives up before that race and, you know, kind of get your eye in, I guess, and I think both of them aren't too bad chances either, so hopefully we can have a bit of joy before that.
Who in the main race, before you ask about your other two, who do you think your main danger is in the Nullarbor? Obviously, we've got a couple of Eastern State Raiders in Hot and Treacherous, and also Catch a Wave, who you've raced against on a few occasions, and the locals. Who do you think the main danger is?
I think Catch a Wave, I'd say he just maps to get a pretty economical run. I'd say just the one query with him would be the distance. I think he's yet to win over quite that longer distance. We've seen him race really well around the, you know, 2,000 metre mark, but just when he steps up to that mile and a half or further, I think he hasn't always shown his best, but I think he's definitely, you know, the quality horse in the field, and he'll take a lot of beating.
One of the locals who was certainly and still is the top seed, unfortunately drew out in barrier 9, but you would have seen Minstrel win his last start, and
also seen him up close and personal, because you're staying at Team Bond.
I mean, he's a very nice horse, and we've seen how he can do some work, and he just continues to roll along. Would you rate him as probably the best of the locals, Jack?
Yeah, I think so. He's you know, in great form at the moment, and has been for quite some time now. He just finds a way to win, you know, time after time. So it'd definitely be, you know, a really good chance. If he'd drawn probably a little bit close to the inside, I'd probably rate him the one to beat, but it just seems as though he's going to have to do a lot of work, which he's shown he can, but, you know, this is obviously his biggest test of this preparation, and yeah, it definitely wouldn't surprise me if I saw him win.
I'm expecting a lot of hot speed out of the gate.
Yeah, of course. Obviously, any race you want to be closer to the front as you can, and position's so important, but especially on a track like Gloucester Park with the tight turns and, flat corners. So, we saw last year there was plenty of levers, and I'd expect no different this year.
All right, you've got a couple of drives early in the night. Race number 2, you've got another big man for Jocelyn Young, who came over here from the east. You've drawn the back line. He's in the market currently at $15, but have you spoken to Jocelyn and the team to get a gauge on him?
I drove him last week, and he was quite unlucky. He went to the line just on the back of the winners and was travelling quite well. So I think with a bit of luck this week, I obviously don't really know the horses that well. I'll look into that a bit more in the next 24 hours. But, if he lives up to his form from last week, I'd expect him to run a really nice race.
And then you jump on, turn the page for Team Bond. This is a really good Emperor Stakes at Group 2. We've got the New Zealand Oaks winner debuting in Australia for Team Bond. Denny's driving. Steno, who's just sweeping all before her in the race as well. And the other Team Bond runner might have time. Have you spoken to Greg and Sky about Turn the Page?
No, I haven't as yet, but obviously she's a quality mare. She only just got beat in the Oaks here last season and has been racing really well. I know she's quite quirky, so I'll probably have to have a good chat about her to him and do a bit of homework on her, but I think she's definitely got quality enough to, be really competitive in this race, with massive respect to the 2 favourites drawn inside as well.
Well, Jack, mate, thanks for coming over. It's great to have you in Perth. No doubt. Hang on, Mort's has got one more question.
One last question, Jack. So it's just get to the front and improve your position and just stay there?
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
Not quite a yes,
just
but
turn left.
No, that's good. And I do wish you all the very best.
All right, Jack, mate, as I said, thanks for coming over. Really appreciate your time, and you've got, I think all eyes will be watching you and what happens in that first 500 or 600 metres, and after that, you're certainly going to play a big part in the race, win, lose or draw. And it's great to have yourself and Luke McCarthy stable over here. And good luck in the Nullarbor on Friday night.
Thanks very much for having me, guys, and hope it's a good night. Cheers.
Good on you, Jack Callaghan there, one of the young stars of harness racing in Australasia, and geez, he's a great driver. And great front-running driver as well.
He is a very good driver.
Great to see the banter between the two. Jack saying he's got to hold at all cost. He doesn't think Hot and Treacherous is a bit overboomed.
I like it. It's
and then Hot and Treacherous goes, well, I don't think he'll be. Grimmer said, I don't think I'll be able to sustain the pressure. So we'll see what happens. But
it will be very interesting. And like you alluded to before, you have all these scenarios in your mind. And then all of a sudden, out of left field comes something completely different, and the race changes. But he's a very capable young man, Jack, and we say young because he's only 22 years of age.
Yeah, great family. He's, as I think I've mentioned a few times, Mark Callaghan, his father and Simone, but Mark was a great driver, trained for my family over there, had a horse called Gantsia Guy who was second reserve for a Miracle Mile with Mark and won 24 races or something for us. So.
Jeez,
did a great job. And Mark did a fantastic job with it. And I actually asked Jack about it, and it was about 4 years before he was born. So didn't quite remember it. I don't know why.
I assume they were still racing at Harold Park at that time.
They certainly were. Yeah, geez, yeah.
That's good. But, no, it's great chat to young Jack. We, as suspected, very difficult to get all of the tactics out of him, but he's going to come out hard and. Yeah, there's going to be some fireworks. It's going to be interesting with Hot and Treacherous, particularly drawn alongside rather than having a bit of an angle to come at. And like you said, the two locals, Blitz and By and Lavra Joe, wouldn't be surprised to see Lavra Joe go forward. Yeah, one of, I don't know how many scenarios there could possibly be, Michael. But the good news is we've got good weather for tomorrow night, so there should be no other place you should be tomorrow night than Gloucester Park.
Well, let's go through all the scenarios for the Tab Touch Nullarbor tomorrow night. And to do that, he's been promoted up the order. Usually comes in at second and third segment, but he's coming in segment number 1, Scott Bomber Hill. Bomber, how are you this evening?
Excellent, thanks, Rad. And yourself?
Yep, really good. I'm here with the award-winning Glen Mortimer, as you know. Really looking forward. We just spoke to Jack Callaghan, who didn't give too much away other than we got a lead, turn left and hold the front. So we'll see what happens there. But before we get into how you think or how we think the race is going to be run, let's go through the Tab Touch market for the Tab Touch Nullarbor. Run at Group 1 this year. It's been elevated to Group 1 status. And as we have a look at the Tab Touch market, we've got Spirit of St. Louis, open at $4, out to $6, back into $5. Mighty Ronaldo, $21, had a little bit of money, he's into $19. Hot and Treacherous, the favourite, the Tab Touch runner, $2.40, out to $3. I should say Spirit of St. Louis is for Aaron Bain and Summit Bloodstock. Mighty Ronaldo is for JP Pacing. Hot and Treacherous, Tab Touch. Catch Away for Regency is $4.20, $6, back into $5.50. Jumpin' Jack Mac for Steve Waters and Gary Hall Senior, $19.23 into $17. Swing Band for Kevin and Kyle Jevons, $51 into $41. Blitz and Buy for Swandoo Harness Racing, Mike Reed the trainer, $101 out to $126. Leverage O for Rams Racing, and spoke to Stuart at the function yesterday, and I think they've got 150 coming tomorrow night just on the grass with all their caps. They're all excited. Leverage O, $17 into $8. There's been a good move for Leverage O from Barrier 8. And Minstrel for Team Bond, Denny Roberts is the driver, $9.50 into $7 despite drawing the outside of the front line. And then the only runner off the back line for Ladbrokes is Never Ending for Justin Prentice and Gary Hall Jr., $8.50, $9 back into $7.50. So there's been a good splattering of money for all these horses. The barrier draws made it very, very interesting. Bomber, I'll come to you. A little bit of banter going on between the different connections, and we got Spirit of St. Louis declaring they're going to lead all the way. Luke McCarthy on Tab Radio this morning saying that's his instructions to Jack, even though we'll leave up to Jack in the race. Hot and Treacherous connections. Grimson saying he's just going to pour the pressure on. Catch a Wave at the barrier draw. Andy Gath said we're going to have a throw at the stumps early, and then we don't know what Leverage on Blitz and Buy are going to do. They've got speed to burn, and Swing Band, his best race this year is when he charged forward and really put himself into the race. Bomber, it's got so many permutations, this race. How did you see it unfolding?
Yeah, I love the banter going on between the different camps. Brad's, it just adds to the theatre of the race, but I think Spirit of St. Louis will lead. I think he'll hold up. I can understand the camp, the Hot and Treacherous camp, coming out and saying that they won't be doing anything but keep the pedal to the metal. But, I can't imagine that's going to happen. I can see them having a red-hot crack early, but, why come all the way over for this race just to burn yourself into the ground? I don't think they'll hand up on the one. I don't see why they would hand up. He's arguably going better than he was last year. He's got the gate speed to hold up, and I think they just have to hold at all costs. And, I think he's the one to beat as a result.
Well, the big question is how many go forward, I suppose. Catch a Wave's got to have a crack early, like we've seen him lead a Miracle Mile.
Do you think he will, though, Raz? Like, with that much speed underneath, does he just pop?
Maybe.
Hot and Treacherous declaring they'll take the leader on. Does he just pop straight onto his helmet? I'm not sure.
Yeah, maybe. And then, and then the runners on the outside. Swing Band, his best run was at Pinjarra when he charged forward. I didn't think he'd go forward that day, but he did, and was by far the runner of the race. Blitz and Buys does have really good speed, but this is a different level of racing. And then Leverage O, Kyle was pretty close to his chest on what he was going to do. But he's been the best supporter in the race, $17 into $8.
Yeah, well, I think, those horses, I think Leverage will go back. He's showed that he's just got that string to his bow now, and if they do go back and then these two do just declare each other on, then, there's going to be, a few swoopers from the back, and he's certainly a winning chance if that's the case. And then you've got Never Ending, who I see on the back of the leader. I've got Mighty Ronaldo just popping three pegs.
Yeah.
It's, those horses with soft runs, they just have to be very dangerous late. And, Gary Hall Jr. never gets caught in a pocket, so he'll be out at some point. Minstrel, low flying. I'm not sure where he gets to in the race. The breeze may not be there. I'm sure that's where they would probably like to end up, but I don't think the breeze will be there. I think Hot and Treacherous will probably hold the breeze after having a really good look early. But yeah, it's a super race, and as you said, there's all sorts of permutations as to how it could unfold.
Very interesting. And I think we alluded to it. There is so many scenarios of what could happen. I agree. I think Spirit St. Louis will come out, absolutely humming, and so will Hot and Treacherous, who's in 3, not number 2, by the way. Like I said earlier on, he will, come out very hard. But I did expect that one out wide might have, gone forward, try to get an earlier position, and then, maybe wait for Minstrel to come around to the breeze. Maybe somebody like Lavra.
And the other thing is, if Kyle looks across and Blitz and By doesn't look like he's going to go forward, and the other two look like they're not going to go forward, it might change his mind halfway through the score up. That has happened before, when they've looked across and went, well, no one's going to go forward, and changes the complexion. I think it's the barrier draw has made it even better. And the betting suggests that as well. We've got a $3 favourite in Hot and Treacherous who's drawn perfectly. We've got a multiple Group 1 winner drawn 1 who's $5. And we've got a Miracle Mile winner who's drifted at $5.50. That sort of goes to show about the quality of race and how many and what can happen. $7 million in prize money they've amassed, these 10 runners, over $7 million. It's certainly a great race. Bomber, what is your tip for the race? Can you give us a tip?
Well, there's 10 runners in the race, Rads, and I would only be surprised. I would only be massively surprised if one of them won.
Yeah.
There's 9 winning chances, I think, legitimately, but just based on history of Gloucester Park and Spirit of St. Louis, I've got him leading. He led from 7 or 8 in this race last year. I know the front straight does help those out wide, but I can't see how they get across. The Shore Cup last time was just staggering. He's going to cop pressure, but at $5, I think he's going to lead and he's going to give us a great sight.
Spirit of St. Louis for Bomber. Morts, you've got 2 runners in the race. Should I ask you for a tip?
Oh, look, they're both... I'll just talk about, maybe Mighty Ronaldo and Never Ending. But,
do you reckon Justin's just been showing Emily his drives in the Golden Slipper? And those races where he's 4 fence on Mighty Ronaldo going...
This is how you do it. But, look, Never Ending's got a nice gate there in barrier 10. Get out, find a helmet, which hopefully is going to be Spirit of St. Louis. So he will get a nice run in transit. How he's going to, go for 2,500 right on the speed will be interesting. Like you said, Junior always seems to find a run, and Mighty Ronaldo can be very dangerous. But excluding them, Michael, I think Spirit of St. Louis would certainly be very, very difficult to beat, and I do think it could just lead all the way. From a WA perspective, outside of the 2 good horses in number 2 and 10, I really think that Lavra Joe, if they decide to go forward early to get a forward position and maybe try and sit on something like Minstrel, he's going to be very hard to beat, Lavra Joe.
Yeah.
And so's Minstrel. He's tough. He can sit there and just roll on the breeze.
Yeah, I've sort of changed a couple of times. I was originally with Spirit of St. Louis, and I probably shouldn't change, but I'm just thinking if there is enough pressure, I've sort of moved into the never-ending camp and Gary Hall Jr. just to make sure that he gets off at the right time. And even if he's 3 back the pegs, that won't, if he does have to hand over at some stage, Spirit of St. Louis, 3 back the pegs doesn't worry me at all, as long as there's plenty of pressure on. And behind the leader, if there's pressure on, Junior's got to make the right decision. So I've moved into never ending there, you Morts. I don't know whether that helps you or not.
No, that's great, Michael. And like I said, I'm a little bit biased, but I just think it's such a good race. There's plenty of chances, and I agree with Bomber. There is only really one horse, in my opinion, that would find it extremely hard to beat. But the rest, if any of the other horses won, would be no surprise. You look at horses like Jumping Jack Mac. How well's he going? Drawn 5. Get a nice run there in the moving line. So plenty of chances.
Yeah, there certainly is, and yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what the tactics are in that first 400 metres, because then it's going to obviously play out from there, and there'll be you'll have to put in the next couple of plans in for a few different runners.
Yeah.
Because if something does not happen the way that you think it's going to happen, then they'll have to readjust.
Well,
maybe.
that's exactly what happened last year.
Yeah.
They changed the selection in 50 metres.
Yeah.
If we do have Labrador blast off the arm and somehow cross, then we've got a completely different race again.
Yeah, certainly it is. But either way, it's going to be a great spectacle, and make sure you get out there to Gloucester Park. Now, on social media today, we've launched that we're going to have Stars of the Park stubby holders, Morts.
So I'm assuming there's one of you in here, Michael.
No, there should be one of you. you and Ross Fitzgerald in the winners' room.
Ross
be.
Would wear his out. Don't worry about that.
Should be one. But the leading drivers we've got there, and I've brought you in some, Morts, so
I appreciate
you
that,
can. But we got the big name. If you go to social media, you'll be able to find who they are. But there's Gary Hall Jr.
All the usual suspects.
All the usual. Aiden Ocampo, Dylan,
Dylan, yep.
Emily Savelko.
Emily.
Kyle Symington.
I tell you what, Emily, she drives.
And
Ronaldo absolutely beautifully.
Well, it's
a big night for her tomorrow night.
It's her coming back. Well, it's her with the Fremantle Cup rug on Ronaldo.
Yes.
Emily's.
And
Junior's Diego from last year. So there's 10 Stars of the Park stubby holders. Chris Folk, and it's pink,
of course,
like his cart. Danny Roberts,
Madison Brown, of course, winning driver for the Golden Nugget.
Yep.
It's great.
So they'll be out there tomorrow night, and you'll be able. I'm tipping you'll be able to get them to sign it. There's already been a bit of banter between Dylan and Aiden on Facebook about when they're going to be able to sign with the crowd.
Right.
Go out and wave to the crowd and get it signed. I said to Junior, I actually showed Junior the Bunbury Cup a proof of it. He goes, "Oh, that'll be good." And I said, "Yeah, I'll sell you one." No, but we got to have a couple for the drivers each.
Good.
But yeah, if you get out there on Friday night, you can get your Stars of the Park stubby holders, and
you could also win a gift card.
Yeah, we got Retrovision gift cards. We got $100 Retrovision gift cards. Tim Gossage is our MC on the night.
Great.
So Tim's going to be out there giving away the Retrovision gift cards. And there in between a couple of different races, we've got the pony trots on early.
Oh, good.
We're going to introduce the drivers to the crowd, I think, after race 4 that are driving in the Nullarbor. Plenty of we've got food trucks from all, cuisine from all around the world. I think we've got a dozen food trucks there. Bars are open, and the amount of positivity around the night is fantastic as well.
Do we have fireworks?
And we have fireworks after the last. So we go fireworks on the track
and then fireworks after the last.
Yeah.
And the fireworks at Gloucester Park are still the best of any you'll see in Perth. So that's another reason to bring the family along.
And plenty of interstate guests as well. We've had plenty of bookings. I think we're sold out at the Beaurivage. We might have a waiting list. So if you do, you might snuck in. So I think we opened up. We had a couple of changes. We had to move a couple into different rooms, and so there was a couple of tables, but they might have went off the waiting list. So we're pretty much booked out for tomorrow night as far as the Beaurivage and Steelos, I think, as well.
Fantastic.
It's pretty close to full. I think we're just about done. But if you do ring reception, the girls might be able to assist you in some way. But hopefully there's a big crowd. I know all the Rams boys, Morts. They've got all the cowboy hats on, and
how good was that last year?
They tell me that the few of the owners of the Gallop of the Overpass coming over and coming out, and Ladbrokes. Damien Oliver's going to be there for Ladbrokes. He's going to be in the room with yourself.
Yeah, it's amazing. There's been some great promotion, which is good from the likes of Ladbrokes and Regency and the Ram boys with their hats, and it just adds to it. It's going to be
Sure, can't wait. I'm getting more exciting as time goes on and we talk about it. Morts, now this segment was brought to us by the one and only Retrovision, your local WA electrical appliance specialist, where RAC members receive an additional 5% every day, and be on track for your chance to win a $100 Retrovision gift voucher. And we'll be giving 10 away on the night, Morts, but you know better than anyone else.
And I must say, Michael, that even this week, I think I had 4 or 5 people from within the industry who messaged me and we sorted them out with different products. The support we get from the industry is great, and we really appreciate it and thank everybody very much. And just shop at your local Retrovision store, because we do like to support harness racing.
And next week, the Retrovision Fremantle Cup.
Yes. Looking forward to that. Should be another great race.
Yep, we got to do the barrier draw on radio, so I'm just checking with Cameron Brown whether it'll be Monday or Tuesday, but it'll be on in the breakfast the breakfast program if it's Tuesday.
Sounds good.
Might do it on the Monday show if it's Monday. The often pacing,
Yes.
Ollie and the team. Oh, they were talking about podcasts yesterday in the leading podcast, and at the barrier draw, and it wasn't us.
I must admit, when they said that, I thought,
we had to do something.
We have to do something, and Michael hasn't told me. And then
Timmy Walker.
Like, we did get a show of hands at the barrier draw.
Yeah, and there was at least 4 or 5, at least
minimum. Well, I was disappointed with Kev. Jev, he never put his.
No, he never put his hand up. Ross Fitzgerald never put his hand up. He's a sponsor. Anyway.
No, it was a good day.
It was a certainly great day. All right, it's time to take a break. As we go to the break, Blitz and Buy end up getting in, picked up the slot through Swandu on the back of this performance. Was a really good second in the free-for-all last week. But Diego, who's not in the Nullarbor, he's going around in the consolation. Is he? No. No, yes, he is. He's drawn 5 in the consolation, comes into barrier 4. Diego, he's in the Parliamentarians Cup, the Nullarbor consolation. So as we go to the break, the Pacing Cup winner, Diego, taking out last week's free-for-all, and he'll be back on Friday night in the Parliamentarians Cup.
3 wide, Blitz and Buy is bullocking into the clear as well. Armour Einstein the inside. Tricky Mickey struggles a bit and then Steal the Show, and further back is jumping Jack Mack. Around the turn they run. Diego slipped away from them. Blitz and Buy trying to get into the clear. Down the outside is Catch a Wave. Diego's in front though from Blitz and Buy coming, and then Catch a Wave. Armour Einstein late. Diego's in front, and Diego has won from Blitz and Buy. Armour Einstein, and 4th in Catch a Wave.
Hi, I'm Steve Sell from Loans 123. We are car finance specialists. We can help you find the loan you're looking for, your new car, and help find a home for your old one. If you want a new or used car but feel uncomfortable visiting car yards on your own, we can help and often save you money. For a stress-free way of buying and financing your next car, who do you see? Steve Sell at loans123.com.au or call 1800 100 100.
You are listening to Talking Trots with Morts and Michael Radley.
A home turn. Steno's in front of Cyclone Charlotte. Ashani Girls run a good race on the outside. Clear of Stormy Skies, might have time. And Queen in the corner, 28.6 the next quarter. Steno's in a bit of trouble here. Cyclone Charlotte. Achani Girls coming down the outside as well. It's Cyclone Charlotte in front of Achani Girl trying hard. Cyclone Charlotte from Achani Girl. Steno's going to miss the place. Cyclone Charlotte has won by 2 metres to Achani Girl. Might have time.
There was a big burn last Friday night for Steno. And in the end, Cyclone Charlotte, Bombers on top tip, got the cash for us, and was a good performance, but goes to show how a great drive by Aidan, but these top-class mares, if they get the right run, they'll get the cash.
Sure, it was very patient drive by Aidan de Campo on.
Great drive, made the favourite work.
And then sat patiently and timed the run. But Cyclone Charlotte has been in very good form without winning, so it was certainly no surprise to see her in the winner's circle last Friday night, and very well tipped by our man Scott Bomber Hill.
All right, this segment's brought to you by Loans 123, Morts, car loans, debt consolidation, all your personal finance. Who do you see?
The great man, the nude nut, Steve Sell.
Yeah, and you can contact Stevie at loans123.com.au or 1800
100 100.
Yes.
Still doing things the banks can't, Michael.
That's certainly right. Hopefully we won't need him tomorrow night, but in case you do, there's no better person to see than Steve Sell. All right, tomorrow night at Gloucester Park, we have 11 races, Morts.
Yes.
The main race is the Nullarbor race number 7. We've also got the Group 2 Empress Stakes race 5 and the Parliamentarians Cup Nullarbor Consolation race number 6. But a good meeting throughout the first race, an early 4:55, Morts.
Now, did that change, Michael?
It did.
It did. Okay, so people need to be aware
because of the fireworks.
Yes,
so when Sky Channel released the times, we had to make an adjustment because it had to go to the front of the meeting rather than the back.
Yep.
So it'll be on Sky 2 at 4:55. And it's the race we're going to kick off in Bomber's deep dive preview. And let's have a look at race number 1. This is download the Tab Touch app, and it's over the 21:30 metres. We've got the Kraken at $8, Henwood Bay $10. Amazing American 14, Greg Army at $7.50. Lucid Dreams is the favourite at $1.90. Richie Reactor $1.26. You can scratch Tubbs Farquhar. 8 Rock Me Over at $41. Fly to Fame at $10. And then on the back line we've got Feeling Aces at $8. Per Adu at Astra at $14. And a Cult Named Sue at $26. Bomber, or how are you going to kick off the meeting for us in race number 1?
Yeah, going to kick off with one at decent price. Rad's in the pole mark of the Kraken. He's going much better than his figure form suggests, this bloke. And whilst he's heavily relying on holding up, if he does, I think he becomes favourite in the race. And he's a very one pace type, but when drawn to lead, he's always pretty hard to beat. And he's been racing in much harder company and getting draws where he hasn't been able to lead. So, and in saying that, he's been going quite well. And the last couple of times he's drawn one, he's been crossed by very fast beginners in McLarney and Joey James. But I don't think there's anything quite as quick as this off the arm here. And Curly will obviously be very aware that his best chance is to hold up. And I'm sure he'll be doing everything he can to keep his toenails underneath early. And if he does, he's going to give us a great fight.
Agree 100%, Bomber. This horse is a different horse when he gets a chance to lead, and it has certainly been racing in better company. And its form, whilst it doesn't look that special, very, very good chance, and got the good services of Ryan Warwick on board. So not much more to say there except race number 1, horse number 1, the Kraken for Daniel Costello, driven by Ryan Warwick. What's the staking plan then, Bomber?
Yeah, we'll stick with the 1 team and go the 1 unit. More, like I said, he has to lead to win, I think. I'm sure of that. But yeah, I think he's a very good chance of doing so. So 1 unit around the $8, that'll do us.
Lovely.
Beautiful. All right, the next race we got to look at is race number 3. It's the Tab Touch Place a Same Race Multi over the 21:30 metres. We've got Cowboys and Bandits. It's the favourite at $1.75. One Smart Fella at $15. October Rain $17. Parakeet at $61. Doc Holiday at $1.51. Without the Tar at $15. Altaret at $34. Fire Rock Fire Roll $81. Rockaball $26. And then the back line we've got Rupert of Lincoln $9. El Chema at $3. And Thompson Bay $31. How do you see race number 3, Bomber?
Yeah, well, I'm really sure this bloke will lead. That's Cowboys and Bandits from the inside. He's low flying, and whilst he was run down in front last time, it was Lasaka that was up outside him and with the pressure right on, and they did run a 57 middle half there, so he was entitled to get tired at late, which he did, and he was only beaten 5 or so metres into third. He beat the others pretty comfortably, a lot of which go around in this race, and I can't see anywhere near that pressure here. I think he'll get the opportunity to dash home in the last half here, which he's done most recently when he led and won in a 56 and change, and I think that'll make it really difficult for the real danger I see in the race in El Chema, which, continues to get down in grade. And whilst he can't find a draw, he'll be very dangerous late. But I think if Cowboys and Bandits can get that rest through the second quarter and then dash home in that 56 and change, it's going to make it pretty hard for El Chema, and he should just lead and win, I think, Cowboys and Bandits.
Well, I hope you're wrong, Bomber, and I don't agree with you this time, but obviously Cowboys and Bandits is going to be very, very hard if he leads, but certainly Old Chema got quite a nice draw there. If he gets the right run, will be very, very hard to beat, but Cowboys and Bandits in front. Jocelyn Young's stable been going exceptionally well of late, so has come up with a barrier to maybe lead all the way and get the cash. So Bomber, race number 3, horse number 1, Cowboys and Bandits for Jocelyn Young, trainer driver. What's the staking plan there?
Yeah, 3 unit bet. I think the price is about right. I don't think it'll change too much. We may even get it marginally better, but he's going to give us a super side in front.
All right, that's Cowboys and Bandits, $1.75 in race 3. Now, as we go to the break, in race number 4, we've got Navy Street. Morts, they say winning form's good form. 61 into 41 this week. Last week, Kate Gath, barrier rate, big price, $81. Got across. handed over, and then was too strong. What a great drive.
And
first up at Gloucester Park.
And then had to really work to get him out in the clear and the straight. And
had to navigate.
Just too good. It was great. First up drive.
Yeah, it was a good opener at Gloucester Park. Navy Street goes around again in race number 4 tomorrow night, and Kate Gath again in the sulky, currently 41 with Tab Touch. The favourite is Faster Than Dad from the pole at 250. Let's go to the break though, and let's listen to Navy Street and Kate Gath getting the cash at Gloucester Park.
Getting up on the inside at a Sport Major. Thompson Bay's out wider, and now El Chema is getting to the outside and starting to run home around the turn they run. Lusaka is on the outside of October Rain. Lusaka is just in front of October Rain. Getting out is Navy Street flashing. Lusaka's in front. Navy Street flying on the outside, the bolter, and Navy Street I think has just won. Navy Street from Lusaka in the last stride.
New Mazda.
Yep, I love it. We got it from Bayswater Mazda.
I keep hearing great things about them.
They're fantastic to deal with. Great people, great coffee too.
At Bayswater Mazda, you'll always be well looked after. Visit the team today and find the best drive-away deals on new Mazdas and pre-owned vehicles. Driving is better with Bayswater Mazda.
So's the coffee.
Go and see Bayswater Mazda at the corner of Guildford and Garrett Road, Bayswater. DL 25174.
Talking Trots with Morts and Michael Radley on Tab Radio, Racing and Sport.
Hotly pursued. All is well the inside. He's good as gold. Ran into 4th place. Skylord can't get out. Around the turn he goes for Never Ending now, and he bolted clear around the bend from All Is Well and Hotly Pursued. Never Ending is 5 metres in front of All Is Well, and then came Hotly Pursued. Never Ending in front, holding All Is Well. Getting up on the inside, He's Good as Gold from Hotly Pursued, but it's an easy win to Never Ending over All Is Well, and they break away from He's Good as Gold. Hotly Pursued.
Never Ending Morts got the cash in the Westbred Classic, the first time for the 4-year-olds, and what a way to start off the 4-year-old Westbred Classics run with a star like Never Ending taking out the cash, and it must have been a bit of a relief for him to come out there and win, even though probably didn't go to plan. Junior was apparently going to take a helmet, and Junior being Junior, straight to the front and gave nothing else a chance.
Look, it's pretty. You certainly can't knock Junior for anything he ever does. He's a great judge, and he decided that was the best in the night, and of course he was right, which he normally is. So yeah, it was good to see him win, particularly over the journey. He seemed far more tractable on Friday night, which was good. Nice lead into this week's Nullarbor.
Just rounded off the preparation beautifully.
Great, really good.
Now, one of his part owners will be there tomorrow night. He was there on Friday night. And I speak of Ross Fitzgerald, who is Mr. Steel Blue Boots, built for comfort, made for work, well over 700 stockists nationwide, and they are a mark of true skill.
And they certainly are, Michael, and they are designed for comfort, durability and choice, and as we know, they are backed by the 30-day 100% comfort guarantee. And they are very comfortable, as we know. Our man... He's always walking around Gloucester Park with them on. Did he actually go home after Friday night to come back on Tuesday, or did he just stay there the whole time?
He just might have stayed there.
Yeah, I thought so.
I know Bruce our chef was harassing him to get some new shoes after the barrier draw. But he had the blue steel look about him on Tuesday.
He did. When
he went up to get the barrier, and he's picked the right one, barrier 10. Although, I'll let the listeners know, on the previous Friday night when we were there, and just we're sitting down at Steelo's, and I think someone asked him what barriers, does he want for either horse, and he said 1, 2, 10 or 11, which is an issue for a 10-horse field, because he would have been first reserve.
But he did very well. He managed to get one of those, which was barrier 10, and big relief for him. There was a lot of pressure. He was sledging all night about people who previously had drawn poorly. So he put a bit of pressure on, but he was up to it, and... I think he was pretty happy with himself.
He sure was, and great supporter of us here at Talking Trots, but also racing in general, and do a lot of promotion. Steel Blue.
Yes.
All right, the next race we're going to look at, this is the consolation of the Nullarbor. It's the Tab Touch Parliamentarians Cup. It's over the 25-36 metres. Let's have a look at the Tab Touch market, and great to see Tab Touch have all 11 races up early.
Brilliant.
And no doubt we've already seen plenty of movement in the main race, and no doubt we're going to see movement in the other races as well. As we have a look at the draw, we've got Armour Einstein, $4.60. Al Capone, $16. Hector is $51. Diego, $3.40. Steal the Show 16, Valentine's Brook 10, Penny Tiger 460, Galactic Star outside the front line at 101, inside the back line, Tenzing Bromax the favourite at $3, Hampton Banner 51, and While They Pray at 126. Bomber. This is a great consolation to the Nullarbor. A number of these runners could have got a start in the Nullarbor and played their part. So it's going to be a great consolation. Which way are you going?
The one I'm going with, I would think he would have added a real dimension to the race, but that's Penny Tiger. I think he can Shanghai them off the arm, and if he does cross, then I reckon he becomes an odds-on chance and just about unbeatable. I think he's come back in awesome form this prep, and whilst he doesn't have to lead to win, I'd be surprised if they don't use his biggest weapon here and have a look to cross, especially from that front straight start. And he crossed Jasper Vella Beach last couple of starts ago, and I would think Diego's probably only just as good a beginner as him. And whilst they've gone reasonably close together, and they're both very good gate drivers, I think Penny Tiger can just explode off the arm, and then he continues to extend into the corner. So I think he can cross, and if he does, then I can't see them beating him. I think he's going to be a really, really short in run favourite, I should say.
It's going to be an interesting race, Bomber, because there's probably a couple of horses here who
looking to force their way into the
Fremantle Cup, Retrovision Fremantle Cup, right on the cusp there. So there's a lot of horses that really need to find something on Friday in this race. And interesting, Penny Tiger out wide. We know he can get out quick. We've got Diego on the inside of him, Steal the Show. Armour Einstein certainly promises to be a great race. And Tenzing Bromack off the back, if he was off the front, of course he would be favourite. So a shorter price favourite. So what's the staking plan here, Bomber, for race 6, horse number 8, Penny Tiger, for Michael Brennan and the man in the pink cart, Christopher Voke?
Yeah, just the 1 unit. It is a very deep race, and whilst, like I said, if he does lead, then he's priced more than halves. I think he does have to cross for that to be the case. So, just 1 unit. But you guys might be able to shed some light. How did Cappy the Fiery...
Oh, no, we're not, I don't think we should talk about it.
He was very unlucky. I don't know what happened. How did he get... Was it just an error, or...?
No, I'm not sure.
Okay.
But it's been scratched.
Right.
Yeah, okay. Fair enough. When I've seen the race, I thought, how the hell's he ended up in there?
Exactly.
So 1 unit, Penny Tiger.
All right, 1 unit, Penny Tiger, currently 460 with Tab Touch. And then the last race we got to preview is race number 9. The Tab Touch supports Gloucester Park stand start. We've got 5 off the front and 4 off the 10 metres. As we have a look at the Tab Touch market here, we've got Call to Arms at 41, Mega Max 61, Gov Stars at 61, Jill Mac 41, and Vanderbilt at 275. That's the front line. The back, the 10 metre mark, we've got Sky Lou, who disappointed last start at 230 in favourite. The Horse at 61. I'm the Black Flash at 275. And Karana at 41. We've got Vanderbilt for Ray Williams against the 2, Gary Hall Senior, Sky Lou and Black Flash, all in the market, 230 and 275. The next line of betting. Bomber, which way are you going in the stand?
Forgive a good horse, one bad run. I'd say Rads and Sky Lou, last time he had to do all the chasing, and he comes back to the stand here. He draws inside the 10 metre mark, which I think will actually be a bonus for him. Follows out a very, very good beginner, and so long as he can begin as well as he did in that first stand, then I think he'll land in front of Vanderbilt, and Junior will have him off the fence pretty quickly, and he's a big chance of bullying his way to the top. I don't think there's anything other than Vanderbilt in the race that would hold him out. So as long as he can just sneak underneath him early and maintain that advantage, I think he can roll to the front and win.
Hope you brought a note with you, Bomber. Interesting race. There is some very nice horses on. The Black Flash is in great form as well. Certainly can't be left out. Sky Lou, as you said, just had a night off last start, and Vanderbilt, been watching him come through mainly in the country, but looks very impressive. And of course he's got the services of Aidan DeCampo, who you can be guaranteed will get him out well. But an interesting race, Bomber. Gone for the number 6, Sky Lou, race 9 for Gary Hall Senior and Gary Hall Junior off the inside of the back 10 metre line. What's the staking plan here?
You're going to love this, Morts. It's a 3-unit pair. Just the way he began from that last stand, I think he'll shoot through behind the one horse, get the fence, round to the front, and win.
Yeah. Well, I'm just hoping I'm a long way in front after race 8.
Morts will be after winning the Nullarbor. he'll be nice and lubricated, and he'll just charge headlong into Skyloo at the 3 units.
Yeah,
by that stage it might be 5 units, Bomber.
Very, very, very nice horse. Very nice horse.
I'm tipping it'll be 5 units by the time we get to race number 9 for Morts on Friday night. Now, Bomber, have you got a multi for us?
Yeah, a 3-leg multi for the place, Brad.
Okay, like this?
Race 2, number 2, Magnus Victor. I don't think whether he leads or sits in the running line, I think he'll run a place.
Yep.
Race 8, number 2, Star Casino. I think he drops straight on the leader's back and runs a place from there. And then race 11, number 2, Princess Katie. Same deal. I think she'll be first at the pegs and then take a sit, and I think she'll run a place as well.
So we got race 2, number 2, a place. Race 8, number 2, a place, and race 11, number 2, a place. 130, 145, 175 respectively. That's a multi on Tab Touch of 329 for the 3-leg place all up. I like it a lot, Bomber, and it keeps us interested right through the night and keeps us going up until the last and the fireworks.
Absolutely, and before I go, just very best of luck, Mort. So I hope, you've obviously done well with the barrier draw there, and I hope one of those Never Ending or Ronaldo can get the right run, and if one of them happens to win the race, I'll be screaming almost as loudly as you from Broome.
Thank you, Bomber. We're just glad to be a part of this terrific race. It looks like it's going to be a spectacular night at Gloucester Park. Not just the race, but everything else going on, and to have horses, to have the Gaths here, and to have Cameron Hart and Jack Callaghan and Jason Grimson. And
the Catch a Wave owners get here. They're going to be part of the Regency enclosure out the front.
Which is great.
Yeah, really good. And
should be a great night. We've got good weather for it.
The Rams, the Rams boys. The
Rams boys. It's going to be one night.
Geez, I hope Bjorn gets out there. That's if someone's found him from yesterday.
He's looking a bit second-hand when I saw him. But, thanks, Bomber. Looking forward to the night. Should be a ripper.
Good on you, Bomber. Thanks for your time, and we'll speak to you next week, mate. Good on you.
Thanks, guys. Thanks very much.
There we go. The best in the business, Scott Bomber Hill, and he's worked overtime this week. Segment 1 with the Nullarbor, and then the normal 4 plus the multi. And tell you what, sounds a bit confident. I reckon he's
had to say he sounds very confident.
I reckon he's ready for a big night for us and the fans of Talking Trots, all 12 of us.
Yes. Just hope there's no gallopers.
All right, let's take a break, Morts. And the other 4-year-old Westbred Classic was for the mares, and Zafira has been really good throughout her career. She's done a great job for Dylan Edgerton Green. She's won now 10 of 25, over 310,000 in prize money. Just another feature race win to go on her resume.
Yeah, that was great to see. Got to the lead, and that was it.
Yeah.
Just too good and well driven by Dylan, as always. Just rated her perfectly, and she won well enough. So it's been a great career.
As we go to the break, let's listen to Zafira and Dylan Edgerton Green, too good for her rivals.
Chase, and then came Hunt the Magic. Further back in the field, Sweet Vivian getting up on the inside, and the rest ahead of by Lady Jen around the turn. They run. Zafira in front, still in the pocket. Flame Trees trying to get out. Hunt the Magic kept it in front. Zafira, Flame Trees a clear second, and then came Hunt the Magic. Zafira's in front of Flame Tree, Hunt the Magic, and Zafira races home to win it from Flame Tree and Hunt the Magic, and then Our Lady Jen.
There's always a lot more in store for you at Retrovision, like Retrovision's lowest price guarantee. If you find a lower price on a same-stocked item, we'll beat it. There's our 60-day price promise, where we'll refund you 120% of the difference if you find a lower advertised price on any purchase. Plus, RAC members save an extra 5% every day of the year. After 60 years, a lot has changed, but there's still a lot more in store at Retrovision.
You are listening to Talking Trots with Morts and Michael Radley.
Was sooner the better, they come for home. And Don't Stop Dreaming, been asked for full ball, leads by a length and a half. Here's the Magical Merlin after Don't Stop Dreaming, can go back on the inside, and then Old Town Road. Merlin goes to Don't Stop Dreaming. Merlin, Don't Stop Dreaming really digs in, but the magic of Merlin, he's got the race by grins. Merlin beats Don't Stop Dreaming. Photo 30.
Yeah, that's the $1 million, the race by grins at Cambridge last Friday, the slot race in New Zealand, leading into the slot race at Gloucester Park, the Nullarbor and Merlin. Tell you what, we've spoken about this 4-year-old crop before, but we've got the 2 4-year-olds fighting it out there with Don't Stop Dreaming leading, and Merlin, after taking cover, was just too strong at the end, and geez, he's a very good horse, Merlin. Great drive by Zach Butcher. He's a great fella, Zach, and great drive, Barry Purdon and owner Dean Shannon.
Yes, from Entane.
Entane.
Very, very smart horse.
Yeah.
We stopped and watched it on our phone on the way into Gloucester Park Friday night, and
yeah,
just kept coming.
It's a great crop of 4-year-olds across the Tasman, and here, like, never ending, and over here it's always been a good crop over here. So we're really looking forward. So that was the race by grins, and now all eyes on Gloucester Park for the Tab Touch Nullarbor. Now, Morts, this segment is brought to you by Bayswater Mazda. Driving is better in a Bayswater Mazda, corner of Guildford and Garrett Roads, and it safely got you here to the studios this afternoon.
It did. Got me safely up to Moore River and back.
Yes.
Beautiful car to drive in the country or the metro, and
makes the trip go like that.
It does, but as we've said, the beautiful car Mazda, but even better when you buy one from Bayswater Mazda, because they look after you so well. You know you're getting the best deal in Perth, and you're always guaranteed the best coffee.
You certainly are. Yes, and you've had your fair share of coffee from Bayswater Mazda. All right, time to welcome in our country expert. Well, he's an expert on a range of areas, but Ollie Cownie. Ollie, welcome to the program.
Thanks for having me on, guys. Yeah,
mate. First of all, Nullarbor. We'll get your thoughts on the Nullarbor. We've been discussing Nullarbor all through the show, and I don't know whether we've actually helped anybody out. I think we might have confused a few people, but there's so many ways the race can be run. What's your tip for the Nullarbor?
It'll be a fantastic race. So I think the best bet is that it'll be an awesome spectacle. But I do think that there's been a lot of talk around who'll lead, where each runner will settle, and I think one thing that we can be sure of is that there'll be a really strong lead time. And out of that, I think a horse that could really benefit from that at pretty good each way odds at the moment is Jumping Jack Mack. I think he did nothing wrong last week. He was pushed off the track, and he really couldn't have finished a whole lot closer than he did, and he's proven in big races. So I think Jumping Jack Mack can come over the top late and be right in the finish.
Well, I don't think I've heard any experts tip the same horse. We've had everyone at the barrier draw. We've had different experts tip different things. I think Bomber and Brittany have both gone for Spirit of St. Louis, but apart from that, everyone's gone for a different horse, which I think says something about the race and how exciting it's going to be. So, Jumpin' Jack Mack, who, he's in the best in the business, putting the polish on him in Gary Hall. Girl Senior, and Stewie Mack, as you said, is driving in great form.
Really good.
Now, we've got plenty of action, not just the Nullarbor on Friday night, but we've got a lot of harness racing action coming up over the weekend in WA. We've got Bunbury on Saturday night, 8 races, the first at 5:38. Then we head to Kellerberrin on Sunday. There's 7 races, the first at 12:51. Then we head back to Pinjarra on Monday, 9 races, the first at 12:50. And then Gloucester Park Tuesday. We've got another 9 races, the first at 5:17. Ollie, have you got a couple for us at Bunbury to start with?
Doing in race 3, it looks a really competitive race. I think early on, infringement notice will be coming out pretty hard to try and get the lead. It was able to lead and win last start after burning pretty hard early. I think they'll employ similar tactics, which should set it up quite well for something to run on. Island T-Rex, I think, will be a nice each-way price, and he copped a bad draw last start behind Artful Major, and he's got a fairly good association with Aldo Cotopaxi, who's driven him in all of his 6 placings in WA. So I think if he's around $4 or $5, I think Island T-Rex will be a really good each-way chance in a trailing draw from the back line.
All right, that's race 3, number 9.
Race 7, there's a horse here. Has a little bit of a gap between runs, which is never ideal, 18 or 19 days. Valhalla Miss, but I think she gets in really well here off a 20-metre handicap. She's been really consistent since her last win, which was also followed by a trainer switch. She got back behind Travel Band and finished a pretty respectable 12 metres behind the leader, and then was a good third in the Waging Cup. Obviously, Dorado looks really, really hard to beat in this race, but I thought Valhalla Miss could fill the minor money at $2 or better, and that would be a good way to play the race.
All right, that's race 7, number 8, Valhalla Miss, off the 30 metres.
For the place.
Is that Bunbury wrapped up?
That's Bunbury.
All right, we head to Calabaran Sunday?
Yep, in race 5, there's a horse here. I really just not sure it likes winning, Military Star. It's run a stack of placings and just can't seem to break through despite looking the winner numerous times. So I do think it's more of a place bet, more of a 1-by-3 type bet, but I think Military Star, it's his perfect draw here in 2, can just settle up early and look to run on late, and I think looks really hard to beat, but he has looked hard to beat a few times, so it's maybe don't get too excited at the 50-metre mark.
All right, that's race 5, number 2. Richie Buller, 1-by-3. Is that the only one at Calabaran, or we got a couple others?
In race 6, I thought You Better Follow Me was a really good winner last start, dashed up the sprint lane to win pretty nicely there. That was after Trent Wheeler took the reins, and I think he can use his gate speed again here to find the top, and from there it would be really hard to beat in this race. I think generally pretty hard to beat when he can find the front. He's a bit of a lazy horse, I think, but Trent Wheeler will do his best and keep him rolling along, I'm sure, and he'll be really hard to beat from there.
Certainly charged last start up the sprint lane.
Yeah. Trent Wheeler aboard.
Yeah,
helps.
I mean, no, it was good win.
Is that Calabaran wrapped up?
That's Calabaran.
All right, so we got 2 at Bunbury, 2 at Calabaran, and Albion Park Saturday night. You usually got one for us in Queensland. Have you got one at Albion Park for us?
In race 6, it's a 3-year-old feature race. There's quite a few smart horses in this race. Chicago Bart was really good. He went 52 last start to win a decent race, and Fact Finder, which has got a pretty big rap on it for Trent Dawson, but there's a horse here, Delhi Rowe, which was desperately unlucky last start, tried to work off the pegs and ended up galloping, and it was a bit of a disaster, I think, but this time gets the draw. Chantal Turpin takes the reins, and she's a really competent driver, but I think generally the market sides with the Pete McMullen horse for that stable, but she's been on radio today saying that was her drive that she's chosen, so I think Delhi Rowe can use his really good gate speed, find the lead, and from there he'll take plenty of beating.
Well, Chantel's the trainer, so she might have had first choice there. Ollie, she's got 4 in the race, 1, 2, 3, and 6. And
she said on the radio that was her first choice. So fair enough, calling rank.
Just hopefully Leader Peter doesn't overdrive. That could be the issue.
One thing you can say about that stable is it's sort of each man for themselves, and they all give it a red hot crack. So there's every chance that he might be flying over at the start, trying to cross, and it's always entertaining.
It is a good race. Luke McCarthy up there last week with Chicago Bart. Was it the Bullion last week, the APG Bullion?
Yeah, it was, and it was sort of a bit of an unexpected win. There was Red Hot Harry, who's got a pretty big rap for Trent Dawson, and he got crossed early, and it was all Chicago Bart in the end who ran away a pretty convincing winner.
Yeah, the man who dominated Albion Park for such a long time, Luke McCarthy, he doesn't miss too many times when he goes back.
No, he doesn't.
What was that number in race 6 at Albion Park? Sorry, I just...
3.
Number 3.
Race 6, number 3.
Excellent.
Delhi Rowe, Chantel Turpin to train and drive. Ollie, really appreciate your time as always. We'll hear you again on Monday when you no doubt are dissecting the Nullarbor with Tim and the gang and often pacing, and also looking towards the Pinjarra meeting on the Monday and the Gloucester Park meeting Tuesday.
Thanks very much, guys. Looking forward to it.
Good on you. There we go, Ollie Cownie there.
Ollie Cownie.
Doing a great job, and hopefully we find us a few winners, couple at Bunbury, couple at Killabarron, and one at Albion Park.
He loves Albion Park.
He does. He loves Queensland.
Yep. Redcliffe, Albion Park.
Yep.
So that's good.
All right,
big show. That was a big show, Michael.
Mate, wasn't it? Great to talk to Jack. Bomber is there. I don't know whether we've, as I said, helped anyone or confused them. And Ollie throws in another one, just completely different again.
Too many scenarios.
Yeah.
And one thing we don't give our drivers enough credit for is that
Split
when
seconds.
those, yeah, correct. Because all of a sudden, like last year, would have been, what's Plan B?
Yeah.
And we're all most expecting Spirit of St. Louis just to get out. Well,
yeah.
If that doesn't happen, what's Plan B? And our drivers have got that absolute minute split second to make that decision, and that's why not only a great field of horses, but a great field of drivers too.
No, it sure is. And that's all tomorrow night. The first at 4:55, Morts. Get in early. 11 races, the main races, Emperor Stakes, Tab Touch Emperor Stakes, Group 2, race number 5. And it's set to go at 7 p.m. WA time. The Parliamentarians Cup, the Constellation 2, the Nullarbor, race number 6 at 7:30. And then the big one, the Group 1, Tab Touch Nullarbor, 25.36 metres, $1.25 million on offer. WA's biggest harness racing prize. And it goes at 8 p.m. And no doubt, like last year, as far as wagering goes, was in the top, I think, 5 or 6 ever, and just only behind Inter-Dominion, the last sort of 4 Inter-Dominions that were preceding it, 3 or 4 Inter-Dominions, and it was amazing. So this year I think it's going to be even better, just because the way the market is and ready to go. I just think it's fantastic. So, Morts, good luck to you.
Thank you.
Really good luck to you and the team. It's certainly exciting to be part of it, as you know. And
it's been a good journey so far.
Yeah.
And it's had a great time.
The amount of positivity is also coming out about the race is so good as well.
That's been one really good thing, Michael, is too often you see a lot of negative things on Twitter because people use that as an avenue to vent their frustration, and sometimes rightly so. So I'm not saying they shouldn't have that right, but you're right. This time in the lead up to the Nullarbor, I haven't seen any negativity towards it, which is great. So hopefully we're all going to embrace it and all going to bet on it and just continue to make it a better race every year, as I'm sure it's going to continue to do so.
Oh, no doubt. I think the build-up this year has been better than last year, and hopefully what we see out there in the track and everything, and the weather looks much better, obviously. Last year it was cruel. The rain came at the wrong time, and actually in the interview with Denny, Tim said, "What can you remember about the race?" And she said, "I couldn't see." Like it was that the conditions were not great out there because of the rain.
And of course, the other good thing is the greyhounds have their own night, which is fantastic for them.
Logistically, it was very hard for a few. Like the Rams boys were in there and they watched their dog, and then they had to jump in buses and cabs and Ubers and get over to Gloucester Park. And this year they'll be there from the outset. And spoke to Stewie last night, and he was all excited, ready to go. And they're all going to be there, the Rams boys, the Cowboys.
That's good. Add so much more to the atmosphere and the crowd, so bring it on.
Yeah, it's going to be fantastic. All right, Morts, as I said, good luck to you and the team.
Thank you.
Really appreciate everything you've done, and congratulations on the Alan Parker Award.
Thank you.
Everyone, hope you've enjoyed the show. I hope we've helped in some sort of a way to find you a winner. I hope to see everyone out there on Friday night. If not, make sure you're watching on Sky. Brittany Graham's going to be out there tomorrow night doing all the Sky Channel crosses and interviews. And tomorrow, what a big preview it's going to be on Tab Radio at 8 a.m.
Don't miss it.
Tune in to Tim, Matt, Trent and Silky.
Yep, don't miss it.
And it's going to be a great preview. Tune into the Retrovision Gloucester Park preview.
Correct.
Tomorrow morning. Have you got your question?
I have.
Have you? Ready to go?
Yeah. I'm not going to share it with you.
No. You got to listen.
Because you keep secrets from me. So, no, look, tomorrow is a $200 question.
$200? Okay.
$200 question.
Special
Nullarbor night. Absolutely. $200 question. So around about 8:15 tomorrow, I'll be listening in.
Yep.
And there'll be a question there for someone to answer. It won't be an easy one, but...
can't wait. It's must listen tomorrow.
Yes. It'd be great to get the panel who are, I would say, probably marginally more knowledgeable about harness racing than us, Michael. But it will be good to get their view on the race, because they've got quite a few different. You've got Trent, you've got Matty Young, you've got Silky.
Oh, and they've all got different opinions, which is great.
And of course, Timmy's picked the winner, so I'm with Timmy.
Yeah, Timmy. Yeah,
he went
Stick
to Mighty
solid.
Ronaldo.
Stick solid.
Yeah,
he's a good man, Timmy.
Certainly is.
He won the Ken Casellas Award for his outstanding story on Never Ending. But the amount of stuff that he produces and creates as far as media goes is outstanding, whether it be through the breakfast show or writing for the website or his interviews. It's just outstanding.
He's another one that loves harness racing and
good man.
He's just a good bloke.
He's a very good fella.
Yeah,
I think, as I said I think the nicest bloke in, certainly the media, but nicest bloke in just about in harness racing.
Yeah, you don't hear anybody say a bad word about Tim. So congratulations to him. Well done.
He's a good man. All right, Morts, that wraps us up. We've paddled on long enough.
Far too long.
Hopefully we've found you a winner. Listen to the Gloucester Park preview tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. on Tab Radio. Until next week, it's bye for now.
Chances are you're about to lose. For free and confidential support, visit gamblinghelpline.org.au.